Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome to Spoilers Live. I just thought I'd do this because, well, it's the Doctor Who Series 8 finale. And, well, I just thought, maybe you like to get your opinions in, um, about the episode, or I don't know. I, I don't know. But if you just want to get your okay, I told people where to go. All right. Sorry about this. I'm kind of new to YouTube streaming. I'm actually new to streaming altogether, so sorry if this is a bit choppy. Let's make sure that this is the right camera. All right. Let's see. I don't know what's going on with my speakers, but I guess I should take these off now. Let's see. I really don't know what's going on. Just testing. Okay. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, I thought what I'd do is there's a Hangout on Air. I'm not too familiar with what you can do on here, but over there, about right where my hand is right now. You should be able to just do whatever, really. You should just be able to just type what you liked, what you didn't like. But that's gonna come later. First, I actually need to get the podcast done. I'm actually dual recording this. I'm recording this on Audacity as well as Google Hangouts. So for people who want the video version, they can go to YouTube and say, hey, I want the video version. Or if you want just the audio, you'll get the audio. So without further ado, let's just get into spoilers. And you get to actually see my humble abode, what I do. And it looks like this. Just Evernote. So let's start off with the first part of the finale. Because when Doctor Who does two-parters, you can't ignore one of them. You have to say this is it, one episode. You have to refer one back to the other. It's just that's how Doctor Who works. So if you remember back in last episode, the previous version, I don't know, what was that called? I am struggling for words here. Let's see. What was that called? Let me go to my shout engine real quick. I have honestly no idea how what it was called. I mean, I have some idea, but well, while that's loading, let's check chat. All right, and for those of you who are listening to this, I'm doing a YouTube thing. I know, Dark Water is what it's called. But if you remember in that episode, let's go back to my notes here. My notes for that. Danny dies. Clara destroys the TARDIS key fake out. The Doctor says, go to hell. It messes with the afterlife concept we've always dreamed of. The whole darkest day, blackest night reference. The nether sphere. Would you like to bring it in a bag? Stuff like that. Just kind of unveiling what the finale was going to be. Okay, got it. Got it, Texter. Thanks. So I figured I would at least recap you on that. So things with Clara and Danny and the Doctor aren't going very well at the end of Dark Water. I mean, the Doctor knows that he might betray her at any moment. So he doesn't have that certainty, even though he said. I feel like when the Doctor says something, it means another thing. When he says, "Do you really think I care about you so little that a simple betrayal would lead me astray or something?" And I'll come back to that actually, because that's actually a focal point for this episode, really. And then Danny's struggling with deleting his emotions, which carries over to this episode because it's a two-parter. But I will address that time gap stuff in a little bit. Then Clara's dealing with the fact that Danny's dead and all that stuff, and that she can't get it back. Really? No chat? No chat. All right. Let's make sure I'm good to go here. Just making sure I'm cameraman. What is this? Okay, cancel. Sorry about this. Let's go back to chat. Anyways, so we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. So the episode starts off. It says, all right, you know that stuff that happened at the end of the episode, there might be a considerable time jump. And here's why I think there's a time jump in between episodes. The reason I think there's a time jump between episodes is, excuse me, burping on the inside, probably coffee. It's really early here. I'm half coherent. Because we see the Cyberman come in and they're like, "Yo, get out of here." But at the end of Dark Water, I could have swore we saw Danny hover over that delete emotion icon, and the guy wasn't in the room anymore. But with Danny, we start off with him not holding the iPad anymore, and just generally being, I don't know, it's just weird, because the first scene indicates there was no time jump, but then when they go to Danny and indicates that there might have been a time jump, I have no clue. But in that same scene, the Cybermen come in and say, "You are Clara." Wow, why did I sound like a Dalek there? "You are Clara Oswald, a human, unimportant." And the reason why I want to highlight that is because it displays kind of what I think about Doctor Who companions recently. It basically says, you know what, we're not so interested in humans anymore. Let me change up how this looks for you guys. Brighten. Let's see. Oh, that looks awful. Spotlight. Let's see how that looks. And that looks awful. Oh, that looks awful too. Focus. Okay, that looks awful. Sorry, I'm just messing around with sliders here. And I know it gives me a preview, but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. But anyways, going back to the companion stuff, I think Moffat's trying to say, Clara, you're really not doing it for us. It's kind of Moffat's way of saying, we don't care about you anymore. And besides all the stuff that Moffat says about, Clara might. I'm not even gonna talk about Clara for a moment because this is clearly a Moffat way of saying, "Hey, she's going, she's going off the TV show." Oh, anyways, I'm sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. I think it's also Moffat's way of saying, "Hey, we might give you an alien. We might have Jenny and Strax spinoff. I don't know. But I would really like an alien companion, so it's not just like, oh, look at all time in space. Oh, instead of, I'd rather not have a companion who is always wondrous, because that doesn't fit Capaldi's Doctor. I would rather have a companion that's just like, that is so unimpressed that the Doctor has to convince him it's awesome, like that the universe is awesome, or something along those lines. But anyways, I derailed myself on the companion stuff. In the same scene, we see Clara kind of flipping the tables a little bit on the Doctor, even though he's not even in the room. She's like, "There is no Clara Oswald. I am the Doctor. I am Dr. Clara." And they make several sly remarks about Dr. Clara and this. Now, I know Moffat likes to do jokes. I know that. But when you have Clara become the Doctor, instead, it's like saying, hey, you want a female Doctor? Well, screw you. And it even burns at the fact that we have a female Master. I mean, come on, Moffat, please. If you want to give us a female Doctor, I mean, if you don't want to give us a female Doctor, don't. But if you do, just do it already. I mean, you've clearly had enough time from Russell T Davies that you can be like, you know what? We're gonna change about Doctor Who. His next generation, bam, woman. In fact, the Master is even a woman, so it doesn't even make sense anymore. I mean, I get the whole boyfriend thing, but come on, Moffat. And the last thing that irks me about the opening sequence is that they modified the title cards to go like Jenna Coleman, Peter Capaldi, instead of Peter Capaldi, Jenna Coleman. And then they even have the gall to put her face, her eyes, instead of Peter Capaldi's. It's just appalling to me that they did that. I mean, I know Flatline. Okay, that was good. That was good. But during a finale, you don't deal with that. I mean, if they wanted to do jokes about Clara becoming the Doctor or something, like a bad wolf type situation, they would have done it. Or they should have done it in Deep Breath, where they could have been like, you know, Clara's the Doctor now. Clara has to be the Doctor for this one episode, and then she keeps being the Doctor. Maybe they're just trying her out. I don't know. So that's actually it for the title sequence. The before the credit sequence. Then she says, "Me and my boys." I'm sorry, I can't really do a Scottish accent. I can't really do the Master's accent, but I can do Peter Capaldi's accent. a little bit. She said, "Me and my boys are going viral," and and this was reference to the master, or the mistress, or whatever they're calling her now, Missy, the woman in the shop. Um, I feel like this is another one of Moffat's attempt to be like, "Look, fandom, look what we got. We're acknowledging you. Oh yes, we're acknowledging you." And I'm like, this whole scene is acknowledging the Tumblr fan base. And I don't do a lot of tumbling. Um, that's how I refer to Tumblr, by the way, the act of tumbling. Um, they also put a Osgood in there, which I actually didn't know her name. Till somebody said, "Hey, did you like Osgood or did you like Osgood?" And I was like, "No, I didn't. I didn't like Osgood because they." Here's the reason why I don't like Osgood. The reason why I don't like Osgood is it's Moffat's way of saying, "Here's fan service." Because in the 50th anniversary, I think it was Day of the Doctor, she appears in a Colin Baker scarf. Just like the classics do, the classic Doctor Who outfit. So that was strike one for me. Then she comes back in, I believe, in this episode, I think that's her second appearance, where she looks like Matt Smith, and she's like, bow ties. Either she says bow ties are cool, or Peter Capaldi says bow ties are cool, and I literally just went like this. I put my head in my hands, and I was just like, did they really just do that? Did they? Oh, man. And then they make a joke about, "Oh, I'm being paid? What's my salary?" And she's like, "Shut up." But anyways, I'm not gonna talk so much about Unit because we've seen a lot of them. A lot of stories about Unit, especially Kate's Unit, because I don't know. Just the Unit and Cybermen have always been something to me that should be used sparingly. I like Cybermen and Unit together, but we saw Unit in the 50th anniversary special, which is about a year ago. I mean, I get that. It's been a year, but I can't help but thinking, you know what? I don't want to be reminded of Unit right now. It's not one of the features I care about on Doctor Who. I mean, sure, it's Moffat's way of saying, haha, jokes, human jokes. And like throwing us at it and expecting us to, dance like a monkey. But when you do two within a year, two Cybermen stories I think somebody's outside. What's going on? I think somebody's doing something out there. Huh. Weird. I heard like some drilling sounds outside. I don't know what that was all about. Why is the chat not active at all? This concerns me. Okay, what is that noise? I keep hearing like drilling outside. Like a high-pitched drilling sound. Like somebody cutting into some wood or something. Anyways, this is what you get with live stuff. You actually get to see kind of outside, kind of. Yeah, but unit shouldn't be done twice within a year of each other. That's just my oh, hit my nose. This is all going downhill. Anyways, I don't know. The unit thing doesn't really strike me. And then they make a reference to the 60 Cyberman little helmets, and I'm just like, could this scene get any worse? Like, I love when Doctor Who makes fun of itself sometimes, but not when it's so like, poke, poke, poke. Hey, hey, did you get this joke? Did you get this joke? Hey, hey, did you get this joke? Sorry if I just like set somebody's trigger off, like somebody's seizure trigger, because I have seizure myself. I have triggers like that too. But I don't like when they make it so obvious that it's just like, dude, come on. Like, so many references, even in a finale, can get kind of boresome and stuff like that. But anyways, enough about Unit. They capture Missy, and she's like, 1 Cyberman per city, ha 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 ha. Which, I have a little problem with that. Here's why. Because she says she has 91 Cybermen that are all across the globe, in every city. That is not possible. That is just not possible with 91 Cybermen. Now, I could get if you had like thousands and thousands and thousands of Cybermen, or maybe she was referring to the dead coming back to life kind of thing, but it almost sounded like as if those 91 Cybermen were at every city, and there's only 91 cities in the world. I can tell you, there's more than 91 cities in the U.S. alone. But anyways, I also found that Missy's performance, and this is really not a popular opinion I'm seeing. Michelle, I really don't like Michelle Gomez as the Master. I mean, granted, I haven't watched very many Master episodes, but with David Tennant and John Simm, there was a chemistry. It didn't feel forced. But with Michelle Gomez and Peter Capaldi, it just seems like, okay, I could see them being related somehow, but I don't know. It just didn't seem right to me. The whole cloud stuff, like, oh, the whole cloud and jokes, like, well, what happens when a cloud gets full? It upgrades and then like rains out. It was really bad. And they're talking about the whole coming back to life stuff. And the coming back to life stuff, the first half of the finale wasn't hard for me. But this second half was really, really hard for me to watch. Again, I advise you, I know I haven't said this before, so it actually wouldn't be again, but I advise you, if you've lost a loved one, to not watch Doctor Who's Series 8 finale, because it hits some chords that I didn't think Doctor Who could hit. It's just like, especially with the Series 8 finale, it's just like, boom, 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 punches, haymakers. Let's get everyone who's ever lost somebody just right in their gut. And it got me quite often. In fact, even with some stuff it displays later, like the whole dead coming back to life stuff, it really got to me. But anyways, moving on. The whole TV acknowledging the Cybermen thing. I don't know how I felt about it. Um, I mean, it's good that the human public and unit are kind of working together, saying, yeah, this is a Cyberman and this is what it does. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Maybe I'll just leave some time for it to sink in. But for now, oh, by the way, Kelly. But for now, I don't like it. Well, actually, I do. It's so hard for me to like get a consensus on this because I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about it still. But as soon as the TV says Cyberman, Danny starts knocking on his what do they call little morgue slots? Little bedpans. I can't remember what they're called. But anyways, Danny comes out of his cell. I don't know what you call it. And he's a Cyberman. And that was the moment for me where I almost started bawling. Because I knew that later in the episode, Danny would just come to Clara and be like, have that confrontation, and then I don't know. I just knew he would take off his face mask and be like, hey Clara, what's up? But anyways, but all the Danny scenes really got me. Any much more than Danny ever got me this season, which is fantastic. They kind of turned him into a martyr, didn't he? We also get some more shoved history in there with the Brigadier, which eventually makes a return in the end of the finale. But well, I don't feel that was right, the whole Brigadier thing. But anyways, I already talked about how I didn't like the unit thing, so I guess I shouldn't knock it too hard. They also make the episode also seems to make very pointed references to the Doctor's lineage, and I don't know if that's purposeful, like maybe a tease of what will come in season 9 or series 9. But it seems like it. I don't know. But they make several references to it, so maybe like fan theories have said, maybe he actually does visit Gallifrey and says, "Hey, Susan, what's up, unearthly child?" Anyways, I don't know. It's just something I like to point out, and if that does happen, that would be fantastic, or at least in the Christmas special, that would be fantastic. We also got a strong Britain hates America stereotype in there. Britain doesn't hate America. I know several British people, not personally, but I know of several British people that have come out and said, we don't hate America. We really don't. We actually like it. We referring to Britain and the person themselves. It's just, I don't know. I hate all of the Britain hates America stereotypes that people feel like they have to shove into their British television. Because, mind you, this is the American version of Doctor Who. This is the BBC America version. So I think that's something that they should have cut, at least from the BBC America version. Because I feel like, I know a lot of people haven't been talking about it, but should they? I really think they should. Because, I mean, it's kind of perpetuating a stereotype that really isn't there. Hey. So I don't know. Maybe it's just my mind, but whatevs. And the whole President of Earth thing, really? Are you gonna make that social commentary, Moffat? I guess you are. So the whole President of Earth thing, without getting too apocalyptic there, I don't know if this has been featured in any other Doctor Who storyline, but coming from what I know, the President of Earth stuff is kind of anecdotal to the Antichrist. Now, I'm not going to get too religious here, but Doctor Who is a very religious type thing. It kind of smacks religion on the face sometimes. I couldn't help but cringe when they said the President of Earth and be quite alarmed when they said President of Earth, because, I mean, that's an Antichrist thing. You don't say that. But maybe, like, it was making a point, maybe, to say, hey, or, I don't know, just to make fun of it. I don't know. In the same scene, we also know that the Doctor really loves sugar. And we've also, and this is a Moffat thing. This is really a Moffat thing. Here's why I say it's a Moffat thing. Because in Sherlock, I think season 1, actually all throughout Sherlock, I'm pretty sure, Sherlock and Watson have a certain thing about, oh, I think it's in Hound of the Baskervilles. I think that's the episode that I saw it most. But Sherlock puts like 5 sugars in there, and this scene, the Doctor puts I think 7. Well, maybe as like a showy type thing, but it was very clearly a Moffat poke thing. And I don't know, it was kind of fun, because I've always kind of wondered how does the Doctor Who take his teeth? How does the Doctor Who, wow, how does the Doctor take his teeth? And speaking to Danny again, wow, that sounded weird. Danny saves Clara. And that is just an astounding, powerful moment. He just, I mean, Clara doesn't know it's Danny, but he's holding a little crumpled up piece of paper, and it's just like, Danny came back to save her. What? Anyways, that was my reaction. Anyway, that people have different reactions to everything, and man, no viewers. Okay. So I'm just talking to myself. We also get Gallifrey is confirmed to at least have some significance in the Series 9 or something like that, because Missy gives the Doctor coordinates to go out to Gallifrey with her dying breath. And he's like, all right, I believe you, but I'm still gonna vaporize you. Is that? Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. This isn't. I'm sorry, I jumped ahead in my notes because I forgot that she confirms Gallifrey much earlier on, when the Doctor goes down to see Missy. I'm so sorry. Wow. Because I still got, what, half a page left? Yep, I still got a lot of stuff to talk about. Anyways, we see Gallifrey, well, we don't see it confirmed, but we hear Missy like, hey, don't you want to know how I got out? You know, kind of teasing her. But the Doctor's like, hey, you're in chains. I don't care. They also acknowledge the fandom again, with Osgood's like I think they were setting her up as a companion, kind of. But then Moffat was like, "No, kill her. And I was like, "Really, Missy? Really, Moffat? Why do you gotta do that to me?" And the whole, "Hey, Missy, you're so funny, it's funny, blew my mind. Hey, Missy." That was actually a really good moment. But the whole killing the Osgood person, that really struck a chord with me because as something I don't want to see on TV, and the way they did it was so kind of a little creepy, but not so creepy that it was just like, ah. But I've got a few questions on this. How do the armed guards not how do the guards not attack Missy when she tells Osgood to step closer, like to her ear? And more importantly, how does the doctor not even notice this? And also, Missy can teleport? Those are the three problems I had with that entire scene. And also, later in the scene, Missy just straight up says, "You're gonna die." And the guards are sitting there like, "Yo, I'm just carrying this gun. Yo, man." And I'm like, really? And the whole other cringeworthy thing is that they upgraded the Cybermen. Why did my sidebar go away? Anyways, you get Iron Man style Cybermen. I'm like, could this really be any more cringeworthy on the Cybermen unit story? Also, it's just cringeworthy. Also, Missy is a woman in the shop, like I said earlier. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know. Because I haven't seen much of the Clara storyline. I haven't watched all of Doctor Who, New Who. But in fact, I think I skipped most of New Who. Like I skipped David Tennant after seeing a full season of him, and I was like, ah. And then I skipped to Matt Smith and watched all of his stuff. But well, I didn't watch all of his stuff, but the Impossible Girl storyline I did not actively watch. But I feel like for anyone who watched the Woman in the Shop storyline or followed that thread at all, would be sorely disappointed. I mean, I know the explanation of it was kind of flimsy. I know what the Woman in the Shop storyline is about. In fact, they even say, "Hey, here's what you missed on the Woman in the Shop story." And the whole Heal Doctor stuff, that was Moffat saying, "Hey, Doctor, you're in my command now." And I'm like, oh. And the whole writer's convenience of the whole control bracelet Missy had and teleporting to the Nether Sphere was just like, oh, why? It was cringe. This whole episode was very cringeworthy. Another thing was just like, I mean, in the moment it was okay, but going back on it, I don't think I would have chosen that. And he gets vaporized, rightly so. Again, this whole episode is just filled with Moffat-isms. And I'm just like, oh, Moffat, stop giving a hand job to yourself, please. So I can actually enjoy this. And I did like how they said pain is a gift. And I actually even saw somewhere on Reddit a whole euthanasia analogy to this. I don't know exactly how I feel about euthanasia, but if somebody I know wanted to die, I would let them die. Because if they are in that much pain, like Danny is in this scene, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I prevented them to be alive. If I prevented them to carry out their wishes. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I prevented another person from being happy. I couldn't do it. It's not in my nature. And then Moffat just does another hand job with the whole Mary Poppins reference. Is like, look at us, we got so many references. Look at Moffat, he's gonna do everything. And I'm just like, Moffat, please stop. But I did like some of these things, like the notion that Missy did this on the Doctor's birthday and saying, I need my friend back. Those are the only moments I actually liked Missy and the writing of this episode and the whole Danny thing. Those are the only moments I could think of. The Danny moments, the Clara moments, and the Dr. Missy moments. I mean, select Missy moments. And they also, in the same scene, say, the Doctor has found his identity. He knows who he is. He's an idiot in a box with a screwdriver. And that is so wonderfully apt. Because I don't know why a lot of people are slamming Peter Capaldi as a doctor. Because if you remember, Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, they have all went through a series, at least one season of exploration. They have at least had one storyline where they're like, I don't know who I am anymore. And they have always said, I'm an idiot in a box with a screwdriver. Or something along that line. And this is just Peter Capaldi's version of it. And I really like, I really like how this season has, or series, depending on which, on how accurate you are. It's series, by the way. Don't let Amazon tell you different. It is not season 8. Season 8 is classic Who. That there's a reason why they call it series 8 now. Anyways, moving on. We get the whole love conquers all mantra, and that really is a powerful statement. I know it's been overdone, but I love when they just do it so right, where Danny's wanting to die, and then he finally gets his wish, and he's like, well, I love you, though. I loved you in my dying moments, and I will love you forever. And we get a really cool scene with Danny just going like, and shut! All Cybermen need to go blow themselves up, or something like that. I really don't remember the exact words said by Danny, but they're fantastic. Then Missy, this is the part I was referring to earlier. Missy just says, Via the Cornus Gallifrey. Here you go. And then Clara's like, Doctor, if you want me to still be here, you need to kill the Master. And he's like, all right. I killed her. Happy now? And that's such a morality play. I love it, though. Because that's what... I feel like people have forgotten what Doctor Who is about. It is not adventurous. It is not... At least for me, people can say that's not my doctor. That's not my doctor. I get it. A lot of people like the adventurous Matt Smith type. After the War Doctor, you gotta say, you know, he can't be adventurous anymore. He can't be that young whippersnapper that he once was. The reasoning for that is he's a changed man. He has experienced his planet die. You think somebody wouldn't be impacted by that? and seeing it multiple times. Come on, guys. Come on. And Kate, who was earlier thrown out of a plane, is now alive, and the Brigadier saves Kate. And that whole scene was sort of touching because it perpetuates the mantra of the people you care about watch over you. And that kind of got me. Not as much as the Danny euthanasia analogy, but it was still pretty powerful. Although I have something I didn't like. Surprise. Danny saves the kid he killed. And somebody brought this up in the Doctor Who subreddit. By the way, congratulations. You got on a podcast, our Doctor Who. And that's a little URL. The reason I have a problem with this is not because Danny feels guilty. I mean, honestly, if I killed the kid, I'll probably send him back too. But Danny is not thinking logically in this scene. Danny just says, here, find his kid parents. It's been 5 years since that kid has ever seen his parents. And vice versa. Their parents probably assumed the kid was dead. Rightly so. Because, and plus, how would Clara explain how the kid came back from the dead? And plus, how would she even get in that country if it's still, war torn? So I don't know. That scene didn't make sense. And plus, Danny could have just been like, "Yeah, I'll go." But Moffat just wanted to be like, one last hand job. Yeah, one last time to screw the fans over. But we see in the next scene that clearly is not true. Because the Doctor and Clara meet up, and the Doctor's like, I found Gallifrey. But he lies. Because why? And he's like, I'm angry, I'm going to beat up the TARDIS. And I know people said that scene was powerful, but it seemed to me just like a temper tantrum. Like, if I was the Doctor, I would just be like, I would find a way to find Missy. Because we don't know if she's dead. She probably isn't. I would find a way to find Missy and then personally kill her. That's what I would do. I wouldn't beat up my TARDIS. But in the heat of the moment, thing happened. The whole never trust a hug thing, I don't know. That didn't seem very cool to me. Because it turns Doctor Who into a soap opera. Because it's like, well, we're gonna lie to each other because Clara always lied. And that is Doctor Who Moffat's final hand job for the Clara Doctor story. And the whole, thank you for making me feel special. And then thank you for exactly the same. I don't have a emotional connection with Clara, so maybe that's just who I am. But I don't know. I just feel like that could have been handled a lot differently. Is anyone even tweeting at me or anything? I've got 151 tweets. Nope, I have nothing. Nothing. 167. Come on. Okay, so it's just my tweets. Just people tweeting at other people. And the whole Nick Frost at Santa Claus thing, that was perfect. But anyways, since nobody's really viewing this, I guess I kind of have to cut it off here. I would normally do a Q&A session here, but I guess, oh, okay. I don't know what happened. Oh, I don't know what happened there. But anyways, I would normally do a Q&A session, and I don't know why, but this is really lagging. normally I do a Q&A session right about now, but I don't see any reason for it since I have 0 viewers. So anyways, I'm just going to post this on Shout Engine, where I host my podcasts, and I will see you next time for, I think, The Flash and, wait, hold on, let me look, let me look. For, hold on, really? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and The Flash is tomorrow. So anyways, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I am going to stop this broadcast so it can be uploaded to YouTube. Bye-bye, and rate and review on iTunes.